Good evening and welcome to Face to Face for the Newsfirst team. I'm Niresh Aliathambi. It is my pleasure to welcome back to our program after a very long time Mr. M.Wijebandara, attorney at law, who is the presidential advisor for legal affairs. And the reason that he hasn't been on our program for several months is because he has been very busy behind the scenes doing what the public expects in the legal sphere and in advising the president and other officials. Good to have you again, Mr. Vijay. Thank you very much for being with us this evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Welcome back.
Yes, really happy to be with you today, especially with Sirasa. Thank you very much for inviting me.
Right. So you have taken on a very interesting role, and you gave up your much of your private practice to do so because your time is so taken up with public service now, and we are all very glad that you are advising the president and of course the government on this, on a vast array of legal matters, I must say. We have of course been in touch, you and I have constantly badgered you to appear on the program, but you didn't want to appear until various concrete steps were taken on the part of the new government to set the new legal processes in motion. So tell me, what's it like being the president's advisor for legal affairs, because it's an area where you have to there is so much work to do.
Yes, actually, so we are now in the governance seat. So advising the governance affairs is a really tough job, and also you have to be very much vigilant as to what is happening around you and what are the existing laws and what to be reformed, what are the new laws to be introduced, and also at the commencement we have to go by according to the existing laws, and also there is very high expectation in the mind of people when they elected this government, this president, these ministers of cabinet, and we are very much mindful about that. There are high level of expectation, and also people were suffering some oppression. Most of the system sectors which are dealing with administration of justice, there are certain allegations from the mind of people. We had to set everything in motion in proper track. That was our primary task. Therefore had to do some hard work, yes. And also first thing we can do without even generating a cent, that's another economic factor, be exemplary
In your own professional conduct.
Yes.
All the cabinet ministers and other officials such
Yes.
as yourself.
So then, so we have, I'm confident that we have done that 100% to the expectation of people. We have reduced unnecessary expenses, and also the politician, whether president, prime minister, ministers of cabinet, deputy minister or member of parliament, they all, we have been advocating this should be treated as citizens. They are not above the citizen. So we have come to the level of citizens, all the politicians, that is visible. No need further explanation or elaboration by words. That is visible everywhere, from parliament, the way they behave, way we attending certain functions. So politicians are normal citizens. They are also part of the citizen, but they have undertaken a noble task to clean this country, clean the system of governance, clean the system of public administration, clean the system of administration of justice, and also ethically clean the entire country, introduce certain social changes. That's why we introduced new presidential task force in Clean Sri Lanka. There we expect in 3 ingredients like environmental cleaning, ethical cleaning and social cleaning. Towards that, there are lot of actors behind the scene. There are 24 hours working on that, preparation of plans, strategies, and gradually in coming days those will be implemented. Some of them are already been implemented. So that's how days goes these days.
So, Mr. Vijay, the constant cry of the public over the last 3 to 4 years was system change. Change the old system which ruined this country. But no member of the public really knew what is the new system because no one could even fathom this. It's like trying to build a new government, a new country almost, and to change society. So this can't be done overnight. It will take many months, and perhaps in some instances where you're trying to change society, it will take years. But this is why, when the new government came into power, everyone expected massive changes immediately, but it's because of the need to set up a new system that it has taken some months to see results, isn't it?
Yes, and also there were 159 members elected.
Yes.
Executive president was elected. Other than that, the police service, public service, judicial service, forces, entire government sector, they are not elected. They have been there. So President Anurakumar Disanayake is fully aware about this factor. So we have to respect public service. We have to respect the armed services, all other civil servants. And being the elected political executive of the government of Sri Lanka, we have to mutually work with the existing system. So then overnight, upside down, up and serious changes was not possible at all. And what we did was we respect and we gave them the freedom of discretion which was lacking prior to the election being held. And there was certain allegation that the public sector is not working, loads are bent, and then individual aspirations or needs prevail over the justice. So people were crying that. So we set in examples, we invited all public servants, other services, work with us, and we had no serious issue or any fight with the existing system of governance. So we show the path that this is how the political executive behaving, so you follow us. For certain extent that has happened and that is visible. Now any sector, any institution, whether it's a criminal investigation or civil administration, we have removed their fear or situation of duress that they have been facing during past, and now we have allowed them to work independently. I think results also visible, and they discharge their duties. They use their discretion without any fear or disturbance, and it works for the people. So it's happening in various sectors at the moment.
Indeed, it is happening because, now it's very common. Several times a day we hear of various MPs being summoned to the CID, former MPs. There are several former ministers who have been arrested and in remand, and cases are proceeding. This is sort of situation that we citizens of Sri Lanka didn't even dream of just a year or two ago. So this is proceeding, but it's not on a political motivation. It is simply that the system is now starting to work again, isn't it?
Yes. Now, in principle, when it's come to criminal investigation, whether it may be bribery, corruption, or any other crimes, investigation should take place according to due process of law, and there are authorities established by law, not the political authority. So what political authority has done is allow them to use their discretion, and also watch. If there are certain things to be investigation, you investigate. If not happening, of course, it is the duty of the political authority to check as to why it's not happening. Other than that, they have been discharging their functions regularly, and also we try to curtail undue publicity for this criminal investigation, to minimize that unnecessary giving publicity at B report stage or at the threshold stage. We don't know, that's just a suspect, whether they will be convicted or not, that we don't know. So we respect even for suspects who have been accused or who have been suspected, but criminal investigation are properly set in motion, whether it's by the police, CID, or Bribery and Corruption Commission. All are set in motion. Gradually, the cases that have been investigated previously, part of which has not been completed, we have allowed them to complete it without any disturbance. That has happened, and respective authorities, if there are a person to be arrested, it is up to that respective authority, not for the politician to say, oh, not for the politician to, disturb with their discretion or force them to do or not to do. That is not the policy. That was what people want to remove. Allow governance system to function in its own way. All institutions are filled with expert, trained people. They have to work on within their merits. So what was lacking previously was that mostly, whether it's a police or army or even to certain extent judiciary, the pre-mind was not there, and certain factors were there which will disturb always appointed authorities using their discretion in terms of their expertise. So the environment that we have created is that we have removed all the obstacles. So now they are functioning within their respective capacity. Of course, we know that so much of other infrastructure facilities or lacking facilities, those are there. So we are gradually planning strategies and minimizing unnecessary expenses. We are trying to pump available cash to the necessary and required sectors. So regularly we have been monitoring all these things and adjusting things day by day. So system now gradually working, and if anybody has committed wrong and it was not surfaced and they were set free during past, it will not be the practice hereafter. Day by day, whoever who have done wrong to the society, who have done wrong to the community, they will be dealt with according to due process of law.
Now, Mr. Wijebandara, once the NPP took office as the government, and it was made clear to public officials that they were now free to basically do their jobs as they are expected to, it still took some time for many officials to really get used to this, didn't it? I mean, for years they had been under the thumb of the politicians, and they were always, many of them were always afraid to take decisions, to basically to do what they are supposed to do. And all of a sudden they are free to do their jobs for the sake of the public, and it's not easy to get used to the new system. It takes a little time, doesn't it?
Indeed, Neeraj, even they need more time, I think. I must say, in some sectors, suppose they are rapidly adopted the new vision of the government, and they have understood what role they should play as government servants in various sectors. But there are some sectors they need more time. Of course, we are ready to be patient until such time they adapt to the system. So I invite general public. We haven't done anything wrong during past 5-6 months. No wrong decision had been taken. Now there are a number of cabinet decisions applicable to various sectors, which I am not an expert to speak everything, but all those decisions have been taken, well considered decision, and result will be forthcoming. And also on our part, we haven't done anything wrong or any interference with the system. There are some public views about the filing cases or withdrawing cases. If there are certain instances where no sufficient evidence, whether you like it or not, you cannot prosecute. Absolutely. And also, if particular investigation is incomplete, I mean, we should not rush. It is not our duty, the elected politicians' duty, rush for investigation or rush for institution of action. It's depend on the available evidence. If particular incident is not properly investigation or investigated insufficiently, of course, it takes some time to correct it and institute action. For that, general public, I invite to be patient. And if the entire investigation, if some incident is sabotage, you know how it's happened. Of course, our hands also tied. This is not applicable to everything. We are there, experts are there, lawyers, investigation are there. Day by day, they are deliberating as to how these gaps are filled. Those will, all possible manners, those gaps in the investigations will be filled, and culprit will be brought to justice in due course.
Now, you've also had to deal with so many constraints, and some of those which I know of. For example, a former IGP publicly said that 90% of OICs of police stations were politically appointed. So once the NPP took office, it didn't just sort of remove all the OICs. There is a due process that has to go through the police commission and all that, and that process has to happen. So there was no heavy-handed decision making by the NPP government, by the president and so on. So you had to work with whoever was already in those positions, didn't you?
We have sent a clear message. We know that police service are governed by independent police commission. So government concern, government policy, vision of the cabinet is made known to the police commission. Thereafter, it is up to the police commission to take decision. Of course, we have appointed acting IGP, and he and his senior officers, they decide who should be OIC of given station. 95% political appointment, that was kind of allegation. But after all of them are police officers, Niresh. They have their rank, they are wearing their rank, and they have to respect their rank. So they are not removed as a result of an election. So they have to show their spirit. They have to show that they are living up to the expectation of people. So we as a government always facilitate them to correct previous mistake. Of course, very less allegation as far as we are concerned against the police or army. They are good and talented, and they have been appointed on merits. But allegations were there when they are subject to political duress, political interferences, and also they have to look after their job, their families, their promotion. So when the government is exemplary, they are guiding from front. It is the result sine qua non, the only result that we follow they also will follow us.
Now you also had to deal with the situations where the IGP is even now in remand. So you had an issue with the post of the IGP, and of course in past governments, there would be political interference and somebody else immediately appointed. But in this case with the IGP, the government has gone through the correct process, hasn't it, with the acting IGP appointed and so on, and everything goes through the police commission. But you also have the issue of Sirasa, the bribery commission, where the Director General post fell vacant almost immediately after the election.
Yes, one of foremost promise we gave to the public is that our main concern and focus will be eradication of bribery and corruption. President elected and took oath on 24th of September, and then on 8th of October the Director General position fallen vacant due to resignation. When you go through that, these are hurriedly done legislation, and we have now curtailed criticism. We are only acting, but I have to say this: Act doesn't provide for an acting appointment.
The Sirasa Act itself.
Once it is fallen vacant, within 3 months, Constitutional Council has to have interviews, find people, and then appoint within 3 months. So exactly within 3 months, on 8th of January 2025 only, we were able to appoint Director General bribery for 3 months. That was our primary concern. That institution was without the Director General. So 3 months. So tolerate with us, be patient with us. But then once it is set in motion after 8th of January, now position is filled, and that institution is functioning, and you will see, follow news, you will see what is happening. I don't want to highlight X or Y was arrested or not. That's not the role of the President Secretariat. It is exclusively up to the Bribery and Corruption Commission. So they are acting now. So you will see. In Buddhism say, Ehi Paksiko, you come and see and understand. So you will see what is happening. And that Director General reason, he has assured that I do not have any politics. I will discharge my duties according to the law, and there are many cases which had previously dropped, and they have been studied, they will be reinstituted. So that is exclusively up to that commission. So we are not handling that commission. All 5 independent commissions has to act within their independency, within their expertise. That is what is the expectation of people when it comes to infrastructure facilities and other facilities. And also when it comes, we have to show them what is the vision of the government. In fact, it is not the political vision of particular individual. It is the vision that people expected. So we have shown that this is what is the vision of the people. So now up to you all act with various economic constraints. We will do our level best. The Minister of Finance, the President himself, throughout he has a team and working, studying, changing policies to every situation, counting every incident, and to maximum possible level to provide infrastructure facility to this institution, without which you cannot function. Therefore, we expect good thing in coming days.
We are in conversation with Mr. M.Wijebandara, Attorney at Law and Presidential Advisor for Legal Affairs. We need to take a short commercial break right now. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
ඔබේ ගමේ නගරේ දේශපාලනයේ හෙට දවස සතිය දිනවල සවස 6:30ට
ඔයා මට දවසක් කිව්වනේ ඕනෙත් මිට කැමතියි කියලා. සංකෝට කැමතියි. කැමතියි කියන්නේ?
රස රහසක්
හෙට රාත්‍රී 7:30ට
සිරස ටෙලිතිරයෙන්
මේ මිනීමැරුම සම්බන්ධව CCTV දර්ශනවල හිටපු ඒ කඩවසම් තරුණයා හා තරුණිය ගැන තවම කිසිම හෝඩුවාවක් හොයාගන්න පොලිසිය සමත් වෙලා නැහැ.
ක්‍රිෂ් බිම්සාර අනුහස් ඔයාට 3 දෙනෙක් නෙමෙයි කියලා මම හොඳටම දන්නවා අයියේ. අනික ඔයා කරන කිසිම දෙයක් හොඳ දෙයකට මිසක් නරකට කරන්නේ නැහැ කියන දේ මම දන්නවා.
ගවර්න්මන්ට් එකෙන් කොහොමද අපි ප්‍රෙෂර් කරනවා. අපි මේක කරත් නැතත් ඒගොල්ලෝ අපි ලව්වා මේ දේ කරනවා.
හිතුවේ රිස්කාරයක් පණ ගහලා එනකොට අපේ ලොකට පණ පුදන්න වෙයි කියලා.
රොකි හෙට රාත්‍රී 8ට සිරස ටෙලිතිරයෙන්.
ඔන්න මෙදා සැරෙත් අවුරුද්දට අපි එනවා
කන්තලේ මධ්‍ය මහාවිද්‍යාලීය ක්‍රීඩාංගණයට
අප්‍රේල් 19 දවස පුරා
අවුරුදු සිරියෙන් පුරවන්න ඔයාලත් එන්න.
අවුරුදු කුමරා කුමරිය බයිසිකල් ධාවන තරගය
උරුපැදීමේ තරගය සහ ජන ක්‍රීඩා රසක් සමග
කුරුණෑගල බැජී සංගීතයට ජනප්‍රිය ගායක ගායිකාවන් ගී ගයන
නැගෙන හිරට අවුරුදු
අප්‍රේල් 19 වනදා දවස පුරා
කන්තලේ මැදිවෙදුහල ක්‍රීඩාංගණයේදී.
Welcome back to Face. I am in conversation with Mr. M.Wijebandara, who is the Presidential Advisor for Legal Affairs. Mr. Wijebandara, something remarkable happened last week, which was 2 Supreme Court judges who are members of the Judicial Services Commission. They carried out an interesting investigation. This is with regard to a magistrate in the Maravilla area where there had been certain complaints by the bar associations in the area and other persons. So these 2 Supreme Court judges went in almost in disguise to the court and they sat there, one as pretending that he was a lawyer and the other one as a member of the public, and they watched the conduct of this particular magistrate, and then they at the lunch break they summoned those who had complained, including various lawyers, and they got various information reports and so on, and then they confronted the particular magistrate and they acted swiftly, and now that magistrate is not in that capacity. The Judicial Service Commission basically took a decision. But this is a remarkable event to me because I haven't heard of judges doing this kind of operation. It's almost a spy thriller, sort of detective thriller operation, but it's so wonderful to see this happening. And in my opinion, having covered crime for decades, this would never have happened under a previous regime. And this is indeed a sign of the freedom and the sense of duty and purpose that public servants, including judges, are feeling now, isn't it?
Yes, let me start commenting on that. Now, the disciplinary control of the minor judiciary is exclusively vests with the Judicial Service Commission, which is an independent commission headed by the incumbent Chief Justice and 2 most other senior judges of the Supreme Court. And being a person representing the executive now, I welcome that effort, and also we are glad to see that type of thing happen. Of course, previously also the Supreme Court judges or the members of the JSC has a mandate to visit courthouses openly or any other their own formulated manner. So this is what we expect from other sectors as well, even public sectors. If there are things to be dealt then and there, that has to happen then and there. Allowing things to perpetrate or continue worse to come worse, that will not help any sector. Therefore, I pay my tribute to the Judicial Service Commission to dealing with such a situation. If there are more situations, we as executive expect those also will be dealt accordingly.
Now, Mr. Wijebandara, during the last regime, a glaring omission was that many vacancies on the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeal were simply not filled, and to the point where it almost appeared deliberate that the executive arm was in fact stifling the judiciary by not appointing judges to these, the two top courts in the country. But under this government, under President AKD, all the vacancies have been filled, haven't they?
Yes, there are in Supreme Court there are about 17 judges according to the Constitution. Court of Appeal up to 19 judges should be there. At the moment, all the existing vacancies have been filled. It is the vision of the President. So, justice delay should always deny the justice. Therefore, as far as the executive is concerned, whatever possible, providing facilities with so much of economic constraint. Even in the budget, I think Minister of Justice would have explained this in previous discussion with you. We have allocated maximum level. Recently, minor judges, of course, about 50 judges appointed, new judges were recruited. It's still not enough, right? We have to provide more facilities to this system. However much we face constraint economically, that's how the justice is ensured to the people. So, when it's come to filling vacancies, of course, executive under Kumar Disanayaka take no time when those are due, appointment will be made. And also we have done a number of appointments. Unlike you heard previously when some appointments were criticized or challenged, I am happy to say that President Kumar Disanayaka's appointment was welcomed by Bar Association Sri Lanka, Judicial Officers Association. There are no issue. So that's how we do. All the deserved appointment will be given due course. At the moment there will be, now yesterday or day before, there one more vacancy there. Those also will be filled in time.
Now, let's talk a little bit about one of the key promises of the NPP in the run-up to the elections last year. That was the establishment of a special public prosecutor along with all the trappings of the office, the resources that are required. Now, it's not easy to establish such a full-fledged office immediately. It takes time. There is a process. But what is the situation? Can we see this happening perhaps by the end of this year?
From the inception, after the parliament election and cabinet was appointed, Minister of Justice had been entrusted to look into this matter. At the moment, these things are being deliberated by experts, and also we have promised people that to possible level decentralization of the Attorney General Department, introducing public prosecutor's office. For that we need kind of legislative reforms, new laws to be passed. Those laws are being considered at the moment. So, say within 6 months from today, it is highly probable, and we are confident that we will be able to introduce some kind of changes, including introduction of the public prosecutor's office. At the moment, things are underway towards that end.
Now, it's important to have such an office established, isn't it? Because there is a lack of faith on the part of the public in having, let's say, the police or other authorities investigating themselves. For example, we had the recent tragedy at the Valikada police station where a young man passed away inside the police station. And of course, the acting IGP has set the process in motion to investigate it. But it's a problem with the process itself, isn't it? Where the public certainly has little faith in the police investigating itself. But that is the process as it is. So it's important to have perhaps the public prosecutor's office set up so that then they can take a hand in a more impartial investigation.
Yes, I do agree with you, and the incident is very unfortunate, and also we condemn that. Whatever method, custodial death should not be tolerated. It's a grave human right violation, and also once incident happen, only thing possible is to deal with the culprit or wrongdoers. Other than that, we cannot reverse. Sometimes some unfortunate incident take place and occur. So once it's happened, it is our duty, and we are very much mindful to find ways not allow same thing to be continued. This incident is very unfortunate. It is being dealt by the police commission and the acting IGP at the moment. I understand that officers concerned have been transferred or interdicted pending investigation. So investigation will be done. There won't be any obstacle or disturbance whatsoever manner. If it is happened due to fault of police officer, definitely they will be seriously dealt with.
Now let's come to a very important topic which is in the news for the past several weeks. That is the Batalanda Commission report, or the Commission report into the Batalanda torture camp. Now so many revelations which were actually in the public eye in the late 1990s, because this report came out in 1998, but there have been 6 or 7 governments since then, none of which took any action to table the report in Parliament, which is the preliminary step, and then of course a debate on it. So now it has been tabled in Parliament by the present government, and the debate I believe is on the 10th of this month. So things are happening, but in the end, what sort of action can we realistically expect on the Batalanda Commission report, and of course other Commission reports into violence which took place, my goodness, 35 years ago or more?
Yeah, fact remains is that Batalanda incident, the entire country knows it's a brutal crime and grave violation of human right, including right to life. Incident took place 25 years ago, and therefore we can't just let it go under the carpet. And since now it is the topic that will be debated in Parliament, we are exploring the all available avenues to do some kind of justice to the victim in possible ways, and also to ensure that whatever possible manner to ensure the accountability and liability. It maybe there are some obstacles when it's come to deal with criminal offences under the penal code, but ethical accountability remain intact. And also there are other avenues where culprit can be otherwise condemned, if not possible under the penal code. Will there be any other laws? So we at the moment we are thoroughly in the process of studying this report, and also not only the report or to just give a media publicity only, we are thoroughly studying this to find out what possible manners, including court cases if possible, subject to legal parameters, and also ethical accountability. If we are in a democratic country, if this kind of crimes have been perpetrated, and if the culprits are still surviving, some of them may not among the living, so they should be dealt in an appropriate manner where the social condemnness is communicated to them. So we as a government, it's the duty of the government to communicate that society condemn you. Which way communication? By way of punishment, or by way of removing certain rights, or political condemnation, whatever. So we are thoroughly studying that, and we'll be taking prompt action based on the expert advices regarding that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but the criminal justice system, the laws that we have, there is a statute of limitations of 20 years, except in the case of murder or treason. So other types of crimes, assault and torture and so on, are not actionable after 20 years. However, as you said, there are other methodologies to ensure that there is some form of accountability towards the perpetrators.
Yeah, that is exactly what we are studying at the moment. We know the limitation. Even beyond the limitation, if there are possible criminal prosecution, definitely will be doing. The Attorney General will be studying these things, and not only one lawyer, there will be team of lawyers, Attorney General's department, and also any other expert assistant will be provided by the government. And then it will be different levels like social accountability, ethical accountability, social condemn against the perpetrators, and at the same time some justice for victims. So we have to deal within all these aspects. If there are victims or they are survivors, some justice for them. That's one thing. I think that is possible administratively. Then it's come to culprit, chasing culprit, finding culprits, and dealing with them in terms of the law. Of course, we are bound by the law, and then this, we will not let this go simply. That I can assure, Niresh. We will study all and every aspects of this with an objective of ensuring accountability.
And it's not just Batalanda, is it? There are so many such camps, torture camps, death camps, mass graves all around the country, and in the end all those need to be investigated and dealt with, but it's going to take time, isn't it?
And unfortunately, even when it's come then and there, if these things would have been investigation, they previously, prior to our government, all these things had been only came into light when elections were due. Just talk, then let it go. That is unfortunate. That's why we, including the present IEBP's the removal motion, we as a government think if there is a decision to be taken today, it has to be taken today. If there are investigation completed within 1 week from today, it has to be within 1 week. So we will not let things happen under our government, or things which are possible now, recent past incident will be thoroughly investigate all these things, and culprits will be brought to justice.
Excellent news indeed, and I'm afraid we are out of time. My thanks to Mr. M.Wijebandara, Attorney at Law and Presidential Advisor for Legal Affairs. Thank you very much for being with us this evening.
Thank you, Niresh.
Good to have you back. and I hope you will be with us once again very soon.
Sure.
And thank you to you at home or wherever you are for watching. Don't go away because the news is coming up next. Have a great evening.
TV